Hi guys, so I was asked to do a review of two very popular concealers. We have the Collection Lasting Perfection. As you can see, the writing's worn off this a little bit because it's been in my bag a bit. Sorry. And the Nars Radiant Creamy. Now, let's start with my shades. The Nars, I'm in Chantilly, which is light one, and for the Collection one, it's fair. Now, there's only 4 shades available in Collection, 10 shades available in Nars. So that's the first difference. I would say the main difference is obviously going to be the price. The Collection one's £4.19 at Superdrug, also available at Boots, certain really large Tesco's, and I'm not sure where else. The Nars one's £22. Nars is available, high-end department stores, some John Lewis, Fraser's, HQ Hair, their website, things like that. So let's talk about what each of these promises. Starting with the Collection, their website promises you a waterproof, transfer-proof, 16-hour wear concealer, while Nars just says long wear, no time specified, crease-proof, brightening, complexion enhancing. So that's all I can really say about them without going into applying them. I think they're roughly the same size, like the same amount of product. I can't find the information online for the Collection one, and it was probably somewhere on here where the writing has worn off. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the Nars concealer to the right hand side of my face, Collection concealer to the left hand side of my face, and come back and just show you how they've held up against each other. Now I'm going to zoom in because I'm going to do my under eyes first, okay, and I'm going to try and put a similar sized blob of each on, and then blend it out. So as I said, Nars is the right hand side of my face. I'll start with 4 little dots. I just put a quite thin layer of foundation on today. I really prefer blending this in the mirror, but anyway. And blend that down onto my cheekbones. To be honest, I'll be putting a lot of concealer on my cheek anyway, just because I've got this redness. But you can see how that's improved the under eye circles. And then I'm going to try and get the Collection. Again, 4 little dots. And I'll use a different finger to blend. So I would say when it comes to under eyes, they're kind of equal. I think the Collection one is slightly actually more pigmented, but the Nars one's more brightening. So that looks better covered, just because it's brightening up and it's reflecting away from the dark shadows, where the Collection one doesn't. So if I'm using the Collection one, I usually go back in and add a little bit more. But because of the price difference, obviously it's not an issue to use slightly more of it, because you're still going to end up saving money on that. Okay, so next let's tackle the redness on my cheeks, okay? So again, Nars on the right side, I just put a stripe across and blend across that area where I had the redness. Now, normally my foundation would have tackled more of that, but I just wanted to leave it more the concealer doing the job today, because it's a concealer review. So you can see again, that's gone, blends in super easily. Collection, or stripe again. So what I would say about the Collection concealer, excuse me, is it is a denser product. So I feel my skin looks more natural with the Radiant Creamy from Nars than it does with the Collection concealer. But again, it's not a huge difference. You're not going to walk down the street and people think, oh, she looks like a mannequin. So my nose needs concealed, but that's not great. I'm now going to move on to my chin, where you can see we will be dealing with more actual acne spots than anything else. So, right hand side of my chin, so obviously going to get the Nars. As you can see, that was quite a small amount I put on there and it's covered really well. So, and collection on the left side. Sorry, this is really hard because it's inverted in my viewfinder. So as you can see, when it comes to covering spots, the collection actually does do a better job. However, with the Nars, I can go back in and build the coverage. As you can see, going in with a slight bit more then gives you the same level of cover, but then gives you that brightening effect and looks more natural. So again, I would say the difference is quite small. You can get the same amount of coverage from each of them. The brightening effect from the Nars can make it look more healthy, and the fact that it's that thinner formula and you build up thin layers, it looks a bit more natural. So what I'm going to go do now is just go off, finish my makeup. I'll come back later in the day. Time wise we are at 11:17, right? I'll come back later in the day just to show you how the two of them have held up, and talk about them a little bit more. But in terms of application, I enjoy using both of them. I would say I've not got any like scabby spots at the moment, but if you have a scabby spot, this grabs quite a lot into texture and it can end up highlighting it, which this one doesn't. But at the moment I have both in my collection. I'm quite happy having both in my collection, but as I said, I'll come back later in the day and just show you how they're both holding up. Bye guys! Hi guys, so it is now 10 o'clock at night, which is why I'm now filming back in front of my bed again, because there is no daylight at my window, and when I go that close to my bedroom wall, the electric lights don't light my face up properly to show you what's going on. So, it's now like nearly 11 hours since I filmed the putting on section of the video. And let's see, so this is the collection side and this is the Nars side. As you can see, the pigmentation on the collection side stayed far better. It does do that. It is a much thicker consistency formula wise. When you come down to my cheeks, this is the collection side, this is the Nars side. They're actually fairly even. Oh, and in terms of additional makeup this morning from after I filmed application for these, all I really done was put a little bit on my forehead and put on powder. I didn't want to put on blusher because obviously that's going to affect how the redness would show up in my cheeks. I didn't want to do eye makeup because there might be fallout, smudging from mascara that would affect how it would show up what I've covered with my bag. So, oh, and last but not least, my chin. I would say they're fairly even on the chin with how it's worn off. So I do have exceptionally greasy skin. Those who've been watching my videos for a while probably know that. Now there's one other aspect of these concealers that I wanted to show in this review, and that is how they work in terms of touch-ups during the day. So I'm going to get out into the light, because one thing I did want to point out with, so this is the Nars side, and this is the collection side. I feel like it's almost visible that there's product around here. I did point that out with the application, but I feel that it almost looks a little bit more, you know, it's a bit more visible towards the end of the day. So in terms of touch-ups and reapplication, to show you, It does go on, but I feel it is more visible compared to the Nars. If I reapply that, and that's almost a heavier layer. It still has that glowy skin texture, whereas I feel like the collection almost gives, it starts to give a lifeless look if you layer up for touch up during the day. So I'm going to zoom out again because, ooh, that was a zoom in. So overall, they're both really good concealers, okay? Can't knock them. Obviously, if you're on a bit of a budget, you're going to go for this one. If you have dry skin and you have the money, I would say go for this one, just because the Nars, just because of the thinner formula. If you like the brightening effect on your skin, go for the Nars one. That's this side, as opposed to this side, which, as I said, when you, if you have to reapply during the day, it can start to look a little bit lifeless. Yeah, okay. For the under eyes, the Collection 2000 does last longer, but if you're on a shorter day, the brightening effect of this, I just think, really outweighs it. I don't think there's a point in time where I would be 11 hours really out wanting my makeup to stay looking perfect. If I go to work, I work an 8-hour day and I come home. So, essentially, I wouldn't say don't buy either of these. I have both in my collection. I'm happy having both in my collection. When one runs out, I'll probably replace it, and when the second one runs out, I'll probably still replace it. I really can't fault either of these products. It really is, each individual has to look for what they're looking for in a concealer. If you really want brightening and you have dry skin and you want like a creamier formula, go for the Nars Radiant Creamy. If you really want heavy coverage and you want it to last, if you've got a really long day for whatever reason, go for the collection. If you're going to somewhere like a festival, go for the collection. It's cheap, it lasts, it's supposedly water and transfer proof. But that's all I can really say about the two of them. They are concealers. You've seen how they work, you've seen how they apply. They both come in a tube with a doe foot applicator. But if anybody has any other questions that I haven't thought of to cover, then pop them down below and I will answer those for you. Hopefully, try to. Anyway, I'm now going to go and have a shower and go to bed, take off the multiple layers of concealer that are now on my face, and yeah, talk to you guys soon. Bye!